Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new episode of the Square Circle Podcast, where myself, Maire Shadows, and my bestest co-host, Dose Evil, are going to be talking about MLW War Chamber 2025. And I'm really glad that he's joining me again to talk about this. So, Dose Evil, how are you doing?
I'm good. Really glad to be here. Thanks. I'm excited to learn that I'm your bestest co-host.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I don't really do much of the co-hosting thing. I usually like being on panels.
Co-host. I'm just 10-4. Copy that.
Pretty much. We're actually consistent. We're talking about like MLW and stuff like that. So War Chamber was also in Chicago as well, which was kind of like not really weird, but I was like, oh, okay, here we go. We start out with Saint Laurent. He opens up MLW with his promo where he's like, I'm not gonna leave the ring until Matt Riddle comes out and stuff like that. I was just like, bro, are we gonna wait here all night for this? So Matt Riddle eventually does come out, and then like Contra Unit comes out. I think for the last two MLWs, you were asking for Baba Thunder. He came out, and when I saw him, I was like, oh, Dose Evil is probably like, yeah. And then we get like Mads Kruger, we get Filthy Tom coming out with a trash can to help out Matt Riddle, and then we end up getting a tag match, and it's a street fight. And I was like, this is pretty, bold to open up with a street fight where you get trash cans, chairs, no tables though, but everything but the tables this time. It was a very good, I guess, Chicago street fight for what you can ask for. And then like, I don't know why I looked at Tom and I was like, why did Barry Corbin show up? But that's the wrong Tom. But Dijak appears though, does the feast your eyes on Riddle. And Kruger, even though he gets the pin, he's still like, bro, why the hell you helped me out? Overall, it was a good match. I think we're going with really, really, really good story. What are your thoughts about it?
Yeah, well, they said this is their 15th consecutive sellout. I know this was the second half or the second appearance in Cicero, Illinois. So I don't know if it was the same show that they're counting it twice, or if it's or if it's two separate things. But yeah, Saint Laurent. First of all, Saint Laurent is talking about Cicero, Illinois, like he's on the Texas-Mexico border. He's acting like, you lucha, well, this is America, and I want all of you, and I love Mike. I mean, which is perfect heel work, especially in this time and place in the country. Just and I mean chronological place. As far as geographical place, I'm not sure that Chicago, Illinois is the place for it, but I'm not sure it's not. I mean, as far as I know, that could be a heavy, Mexican-American area, or maybe just a Mexican area. I don't know. I hear that there's socialist Mexicans taking over, having an invasion. I didn't know Mexico is a socialist country, but that's what I hear anyway. But yeah, he said Riddle and his stupid mustache. I agree. Riddle's mustache is stupid. I mean, I guess his wife likes it. They have a baby, so maybe the baby likes to play with it. I get all that. Yeah, but Contra comes out. I think that I cannot confirm nor deny that I was in one of those black outfits. Riddle's, fighting them off. They of course, the usual five guys are useless, and it turns into a tag match. And yeah, Dijak, causes Riddle to lose, the good guys to lose. And Cruel apparently is not happy with that because he's got a little thing going with Dijak who keeps interfering in his cash-in efforts. So we got a little battle of the giants there, but Cruel got himself, Kruger, I'm sorry, he goes by Kruger here, not Cruel. In other places he goes by Atrocity Cruel sometimes. But he got himself the giant.
When do you think that Mads is going to end up cashing in that briefcase?
Maybe New York.
Man, I want Kenta to win.
Well, I don't think it's going to be New York. I mean, I don't know what their whole schedule is, but I think they're going to let it linger for a while. I mean, I think the story between Mads Kruger and Dijak doesn't need to have a title involved in it. So
that's true.
But then again, MLW is such a smaller promotion and has shorter time, people coming in and out, that Maybe maybe that's too much WWE thinking that, they sort of have to, if you've got decent stories, keep them separate. I don't know, but I don't think it's going to be this soon. I think they're going to let the Giants battle out for a while. And I think that while they have Riddle, they're happy to have him. And, I also, it looks like they're building up two people to be possible top faces. One is our man, Mr. Thomas, and the other is Brock Anderson.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna get to both of them towards the end because man, such a great performance for that. So Chicago Street Fight happens, and then we get a my buddy Kwan promo. I could not read my own handwriting. I was like, what did I just write?
Me too.
We get a Kwan promo, and I was like, this is really well done. I do like the fact that they are pushing him to get that middleweight belt. Not really much I can say on his promo. It was nice and short. And then after that, we have like a new sort of gimmick match, which is the lightly match, which basically they're 10-minute matches. These matches, generally, I don't have a problem with like 15 to 10-minute matches because they can show what you can do. So this one was okay, even though I was like, yeah, it felt like kind of short, even though it was 10 minutes. We had Ariel Dominguez versus Myron in a very good little back and forth 10-minute lightly match. Myron does pick up the win, and thankfully, even though this was like taped ahead of time, but thankfully Myron is still okay from that horrific bump he took out on the floor when he dived in one of the promotions that the video was going around. But other than that, I believe like Myron also had mentioned like a mini promo. I might be skipping ahead or maybe not. Oh no, he did a promo right after the match where he was saying that like the middleweight division, he's gonna bring it back. And I'm like, well, I know some people that could like fill out this middleweight division if MLW ever wants to have them along for the ride. But
what's the name drop?
Obviously we could get Javi, big body Javi, because I like Javi. We could get Carl Fredericks to be up in there, even though I don't think he's a middleweight, but like I don't even know what he considers himself, but he would get him in there. Those are like the only two, but like Javi is one to get some new faces in there. I don't know if they're ever gonna bring back this dude Grimes, even though I say the WWE name, but I don't remember. Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna come back because he was cool to work with.
I would do anything for Trevor Lee versus Barbarossa Cavernera.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. That'd be interesting
versus Caveman.
Yeah. So like those three, there's probably more out there too for the middleweight division. I would have to focus on like the actual weights because I'm just like you're good. You should go over there. But
Osborne.
Yeah.
From NXT, the British face, he's
right.
Bea Priestley's husband or
okay.
Davenport, whatever her real name is.
Yeah. Got it. Riley. Damn, man. I was like, wait, it sounds familiar. I don't have a face to the damn name until you mentioned that. That could be it.
He's Danny Limelight, who used to be in MLW. He's around.
Yeah.
He's doing his thing. There's a bunch of people that AEW didn't re-sign. They're on the smaller size. I mean, WWE released a lot of people, but a whole bunch of them probably aren't middleweights, and and some of them were released because they're just not that good. So, but yeah, there's plenty of wrestlers out there. There's no shortage of wrestlers out there. What is the weight limit? What do you think? They have to be under like probably like 165 shoot, and they say it's under 175. Is that how they break it down?
I could just Google it because I have no idea.
Well, I'll talk about it a little bit.
I was gonna say that typically, like even let's say between 154 to like 160-ish, maybe like 200 might be that cutoff point-ish in a way. So
sort of tough when your heavyweight champion is probably 195. So
something like that.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, listen, I don't think I've ever seen Ariel Dominguez win a match. He's a very small guy. They like him. Myron Reed was a fixture of MLW for years. Him and Jordan Oliver were like, looked like they were going to be big, big stars. I guess they thought so too. They took advantage of free agency. I'm not sure that, they sort of went their own ways. But so it was interesting to see Myron Reed back, and it's, it's fun. And the Lightning match thing, I sort of agree with Austin Aries that it's like the kind of match for our generation with ADHD. But at the same time,
yeah,
a match no more than 10 minutes, I'll take it. There was one really cool move where Ariel Dominguez was, I guess, trying to like sort of do a spear or something too.
Yeah.
He was outside, and Myron Reed sort of like lifted a rope that sort of snared Ariel Dominguez, and then he did like a leg drop on top of him, but on the outside of the apron, and that it was sort of neat. It wasn't a very complicated move, but it doesn't need to be. It was. I don't know that I've ever seen that exact move before, and it was cool. But yeah, Myron Reed picking up the win. But you're right, he sort of buried the division. He said, "Ever since I've been gone, the division has stunk, and I'm here to make it." It was sort of a heelish promo, and I'm not saying I don't like it, but it's a little bit what Hammerstone did later on. So it was like sort of the same story twice on the same show.
Yeah. After the match in that promo, we get the Boomeria with Paul London being there, Matthew Justice, and they're all talking about War Chamber and hyping that up. And I really do feel like this is like the band of misfits, because it just doesn't, like, technically if you see them, it's like, oh, this team don't work, but their chemistry when it comes to like promo stuff is just really fun to look at. And Paul London being a little unhinged about like taking balls and whatnot. And I was like, sir, what are we doing here? But they were just hyping up the War Chamber match. I honestly, like, as much as I love like all the in-betweens before we get to the War Chamber match, if they ever say War Chamber, that's like my favorite thing to like watch. It's like just the War Chamber.
Yeah, honestly, I thought that was going to be the only match. I didn't know that we were getting other matches. I was a little disappointed because I just wanted to leap right in. But this was good, first of all, because Thomas was leading it, which is great. And and he was also like flexing striations while he was doing like resistance things to make his chest
old school stuff.
So, yeah, he was feeling his own in there. Matthew Justice, I guess he's sort of the inheritor of War Chamber because he used to be with the 2 Gear crew or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like their new Mance Warner, and talk about Justice a little bit later. But yeah, Paul London went absolutely crazy. I don't know what he was talking about. The first time I had the same. The second I watched it again today, I didn't even listen to him. I'm just like, I can't do this. It was too whack. Yeah, I mean, a war meeting, a war chamber, a war council, and they got themselves all hyped up.
Yep. And speaking of big body Javi, he's streaming on Twitch.
Big body Javi. I had a little feud with him, and then he got released, and I feel bad, and so now I want him to succeed. So it's like, it's like I'm such a little karma hypocrite.
After the hype up with the Boomeria club, we get Cesar Duran and Salina de la Renta, and we get to know that she is the vice president to Cesar, and she's going to be probably making matches and talent relations and all that. And I think that that's a very fantastic spot for her right now.
This was fantastic. She's the VP of Wrestler Relations, so I assume that's talent relations. But I mean, who else are the talent? But yeah. They're going to have a meeting with Don Gatto that he's invited them for tequila and steak for the Jaguar and all of that other good stuff. And then Celine wants to know if she's going to get stock options, and she's just like, but he raised
that was
her
funny.
It's great. He raised her to be a smart businesswoman, and there it is. And then of course Magnus and Ruggiero come in, and they're like, hey, we like challenges. We want to defend our titles against anyone, which is not very heely. And then Cesar's like, that's fine. In New York, because I like Maire Shadows, and I forget the guy I did his podcast. I don't remember his name, but Thomas made me do it. I'm going to set you up with a mystery team. So do you want to make any rank speculation as to who the mystery team is? It going to be an outside team? Is it going to be an inside?
I don't know. I mean, it could be an inside team, just because we could form new tag teams in MLW to try to take the titles, or it could be an outside team. It could be any of the free agents. This is why like it's important to like pay attention to MLW and what they do, because it's not only just like inside wrestlers or talent, I should say, that end up like getting these spots and stuff. As far as like a tag team within MLW, we don't really have too many tag teams in MLW. I'm trying to think of like, because doing like a Matt Riddle and a Tom Lawlor thing again, like I don't know about that, but that's a possibility. I think we'll talk a little bit about it later. That with like, you know, the Kojima and Akamora are like not really like on the same level at the moment, on the same page. They get a lot of CMML guys. But yeah, I don't really have like a prediction right now, even though like Summer of the Beast is coming up. But whoever they get, it'll be a damn good tag team match, and I know that sounds like a cop out.
Well, I mean, you know, Dijak and Bishop Dyer.
Oh yeah, that's right.
A possibility. I was thinking Riddle and Filthy Tom, though. I have to tell you, Filthy Tom, it's sort of painful to watch him move on his knees. Like, he probably doesn't care, you know. I mean, I'm sure he cares, but it's not going to stop him. But I don't know. You know, he's starting to get that Matt Hardy, you know. Mm-hmm. Though Matt Hardy seems to be doing RNTNA, so what do I know? Private Party rumored to be exiting pretty soon. No non-compete.
I heard, yeah.
The Good Brothers?
No.
Good.
No, kick them out. Nope.
I'm okay with it. I'm perfectly fine with no Good Brothers.
Listen, man. It's just one of those things of like, I get their personality, I get it, but like at least be a little bit humble in this business and like you know, take in the opportunities that you can, but don't like abuse the system and don't make it seem as if like, yeah, we're just here for the money and whatnot. Like no, like actually help out. And even if they do might like help out, because I don't really know all the backstage stuff or whatever they do, but when they come across as like appearance wise, like appearance is everything and perception is everything. So like it just feels like they go there, take whatever they want, and then like don't do anything when they don't get what they want, and then end up leaving. That's just me. They could block me too. It's okay. The Young Bucks blocked me at one point when I was like, you guys don't need to be in New Japan Pro Wrestling. But as far as like tag teams go, yeah. And I'm still trying to think about the damn roster whenever I'm like in the locker room of like, who else is there? We could do like a really interesting team of Matthew Justice and Akira, Deathmatch Akira, for the tag team. I just don't know if they're gonna allow like CMML guys to hold certain titles longer than like what they need, because technically the tag team belts, we don't know if they were defended over in Mexico from the first match we were talking about with these guys. Right. I don't even know if that's still a thing. So I didn't hear any word about it.
Didn't they have a match the next week with like Blue Panther and somebody else who wasn't his tag team partner tonight that we saw them with? Or maybe it was Dark Panther or Black Panther or something.
There's a lot of Panthers, but
there's a lot of Panthers, a lot of big cats, a lot of yeah. I mean, it could be. I mean, the Andersons haven't officially broken up.
That's right.
We could try to further that story, that wedge. I mean,
it could be them. I forgot about them. I feel so bad.
Pretty sure it's not Kojima and Okamura.
No, it's not.
So that's not going to happen.
It's not.
All right. We don't have a lot of insights on.
No. But after that, Dijak gets his own little mini like promo. He wants the MLW Championship title. Listen, everybody wants that title. You know, if I manage to like get a hold of it, I'll take a picture of it and be like, I'm the champion now. Just because I want to, just because I want to do something fun. Speaking of the Panthers, we get Blue Panther Jr. with Dark Panther facing Cozy Max, which is Kojima and Akamora. You know, I love Kojima. I really do. I'm still very humbled that he decided to follow me on Twitter. So this was a interesting match where like it made sense. the flow was there. Obviously, we're going by lucha rules. With a lot of double team, and then like miscommunication was happening way too often with Cozy Max, to the point where like Cozy Max were fighting each other to the point of like getting counted out. And it was kind of funny how like Blue Panther and Dark Panther were like, what? What? We won and whatnot, but yeah, by count out, man. Your thoughts on this match?
Yeah, this is fine. This is just furthering the story and finally, making the split inevitable or happened that they've been teasing for a bit. It was a little bit weird when the partners started doing a little strong style on each other in the ring, and then they just sort of stopped. But yeah, I mean, they walked out sort of together, sort of look like a married couple when they leave together, but they're still fighting. And the wife is a few steps ahead of the husband. He's like, but he still wants to be right. Anyway, they went out, separate, tunnel entrances. Of course, it goes to the same place, but still. But yeah, that was good. I mean, the match, I didn't think much of it. It was, it was exactly fine. It was, had that sort of ending that was like, but the match really wasn't for anything other than ego. And I don't think the surprise team is going to be Blue Panther Jr. and Dark Panther, or Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, or whoever it's going to be.
Yeah, that's true, because it's not. I don't think it's going to be them. After this match, we had an Alex Hammerstone promo where he says he wants to be the national champion because he never lost it. I wrote down here in my notes his line that says, "I am the business," and he does challenge Ultimo Guerrero for that belt at Summer of the Beast. I could tell you that in New York City, Lucha Libre is always hot. New York City loves Alex Hammerstone. New York City loves Matt Riddle. So if you guys have not gotten your tickets yet to Summer of the Beast, which is coming up June 26th at the Melrose Ballroom, please do so. Because experiencing MLW live is on a whole nother scale than like watching it at home. It's just on a whole nother level. Your thoughts on Alex Hammerstone's promo?
Well, it was like Hammerstone. So, like this, he's a little bit heely, sort of saying, this place hasn't been good since me. I never lost the title. True, he never did lose the title. So he's going to, challenging Ultimo Guerrero. We saw him sort of turn America first heely on Ultimo Guerrero last time around. So completes this. Looking forward to seeing it. And listen, if you are on the fence about going to the show, Marie's going to be there, and I'm going to be there. And more importantly, so will Senorita Dos. So, and Juventud Sicario will be there as well. So,
oh my God.
That's right. And my other erstwhile tag team partners from the defunct Hammerlock Hangover podcast, Big Daddy Cool Steve Pena and Grand Slam, Body Slam in Bad Guy Jack. So, we're going to have a little crew there.
It's gonna be great. After that, we get another promo, which is the Rogue Horseman. And I was surprised that they allowed Brock Anderson to like take center stage to like set this up. Him mentioning that he got 8 stitches the last time by Justice, and then just generally hyping it up. And I was like, oh, they're letting Brock flex his promo skills, which is fantastic, because I'm a fan of Brock Anderson. So I was like, this is fantastic. It's still getting me hyped up for when we talk about War Chamber in a little bit.
Yeah, it was just fun. I mean, he took the lead. I think that was noteworthy. The 8 stitches thing was fun. I was waiting for him to say on my pretty face, but he didn't he didn't quite go there. But yeah, this was good. It was they were having their little war council meeting and hyping themselves up. There was a little bit of friction with them. Last we saw them in like the cafeteria. 2 of them seemed to be interested in doing the war games, and 2 of them were very reticent of doing it. So they were on the same page. BRG is obviously making a lot of noise. BRG looks young. I don't know if my screen was like in super HD or whatever, but he looked like a baby.
He's a young kid. He's a young kid. I don't know. I don't remember how old he is, but he's definitely has that baby face. It's just one of those things. He is a sweetheart though, even though he does curse people out and really wants stuff, but he is a sweetheart. Even though the last time I was like, "Hey, can I join the Rogue Horseman if I, show you this picture of my crunch wrap?" And he was like, "No, because you misspelled Rogue Horseman."
How'd you spell
He's still a
rouge?
sweetheart. Yeah, I accidentally
Rouge
misspelled it.
Horseman?
Yeah, but then I had to hit him with the comeback of like, man, how can you hold that against me when my food is so delicious that I accidentally like misspelled Rogue? Like, come on, man. But yeah, he's a good kid.
Glisso Molina or Mena?
Yeah.
Hi.
Gliss is here. What's up, Gliss? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream.
Yeah. So this was good. So yeah, and then I guess we didn't talk about it. There's a few contracts that came up, so we have some free agents.
Yeah.
And some of these results probably won't be surprising, but we'll save that till I guess to the end because I don't want to
yeah
spoilers, even though it's a review show for a show that's been on YouTube for half a week or whatever. But actually, they have a fair amount of views. They have like when I looked at it, I think it was 92,000 people had looked at it. So get those numbers up, folks.
Yeah,
they're trying to get TV deal, and hopefully better than Roku. I mean, congrats to NWA.
Yeah.
But let's I would say MLW is a couple steps ahead above NWA, and so get something, get on some sort of, I don't know what's better, network or platform, but than Roku. I really don't know anything about it, but
no, I don't know either.
Something that's easy for me to. Everyone says everyone has Roku. It's easy to get to, but if you've never gone on it, maybe it is easy. I just don't know. I fear the unknown.
Yeah. Just want to check something. Okay, I want to make sure that my mic is still good. Okay, because you never know with technology.
True.
So right after that other hype promo from Rogue Horseman, we got Delmi XO versus Shoko for the Featherweight championship title. And every time that these two women fight, it's getting better and better and better, which I was like, this is good. Because I think that sometimes when you get Joshi wrestlers to come over, they have to get in the reps with us in order to like make everything feel just that much better. They did. So I wrote down some notes like the second rope fisherman suplex on Shoko by Delmi. I was like, that looks fantastic. Shoko with the she kicks out. And I think Shoko ends up doing. I'm going to skip ahead to my notes. The top ropes seated senton for her to win. It was a good exchange back and forth. A really good story being told, and presenting Shoko as like she can kick out of this, kick out of that, even though she's tiny. Both of them are tiny. One's just taller. But overall, I really did enjoy this match between them.
I don't want like Josie. I don't really get it. It's sort of cute that she's doing the big kaiju thing and breaking down the little toy setup like a kid would have in their room or a spoiled kid would have, or maybe we had a toy store display, and she's like pretending she's Godzilla, but she's like 4'10", and I get it. It's it's wrestling. You're supposed to suspend disbelief and. But I'm sort of a sizes across the board. It's less in places like MLW where, than it is for WWE. I get it. And where, it's not where the Giants roam necessarily, though we have Baba Thunder and, a fair amount of, 6'7" to, 7 foot tall guys, plus Thomas. I like Delmi XO, but, it is what it is. This is a match for people who like the Josie kind of style. I mean, this is for that. I did watch this match twice. I liked it more the second time than I did the first time because I was actually watching it more closely for the wrestling as opposed to watching it just for it to end, which I know sounds bad, but I was watching it and hoping it would end the first time. The second time, I'm like, I'm watching for the show. So I watched it. They had a good exchange and they have a pretty good chemistry. And, she can do the moves. Sure. It's just, sometimes it looks like a sort of a disturbingly small child doing the moves.
Yeah, sometimes not everyone can like get some height on them, but yeah, I can see what you mean. Also, like Joshi tends to like I don't know, it's not for everyone, and I totally get it because they think of the theatrics a little more different than like how we think theatrics in a way. So like whatever they do in Japan is not necessarily going to like translate over here the same way that you think about how Shoko comes out and she just destroys all the buildings and that's her character, that's her gimmick. But some of that stuff is not going to like translate well. That's why I tend to not really talk about her entrance. But it is kind of fun. I mean, like, I would like to just like smack down some, buildings and stuff. If I could, I would just like to smack it down. We have Denisha in the chat. Denisha, thanks for stopping by. We are going to get to I wouldn't call them release talent. They are like free agents now. Their contracts did not get renewed. So we'll get to that right after War Chamber, because now we came to the main event of this, which is War Chamber, where War Chamber, if you guys don't know, everyone is in a cage. However, there's two wrestlers that start, and I think it's like maybe a minute in between until the next wrestler comes. There is a countdown, and then once all wrestlers are in the ring inside of the cage, that's when like the actual match actually starts. It's a combination of like almost every other gimmick match that we know. So we had Justice in there with BRG, and I was just like, oh, these two are starting it off. BRG like goes through a table. Suplex, CW Anderson comes out, then Alex Kane comes out. All members are finally like in the cage. So like Brock Anderson comes out, Paul London comes out, Mr. Thomas comes out. I don't think I mentioned Mr. Thomas. Mr. Thomas is basically the star of War Chamber, which I was like very, very happy about. We also have to Paul London tries to like help at one point because hold on. So first of all, as much as I like the Andersons, I really do, they zip tied Mr. Thomas to the damn cage, and I was like, first of all, I don't know if those things can hold him, because I'm here like did you guys like think about this like through and through? Maybe like handcuffs could hold him, but like zip ties, like come on guys. To which we find later on that Paul London tries to help, but he gets double DDT. He does double DDTs to Anderson's. But eventually Mr. Thomas breaks out of those zip ties. Mr. Thomas becomes a menace in that War Chamber match, where he's beating up everybody, and he ends up doing the jackhammer to BRG and goes for the cover, picks up 1, 2, 3, and Boomeria, along with Paul London and Matthew Justice, won this match. By the way, back and forth, it was like good through and through. At the end of it, we get BRG pushing Brock because we had a little miscommunication there, and BRG is blaming Brock Anderson, and then Brock, in the most smoothest Anderson way, drops him with a DDT that I was like, that was so quick, man. Like, if you blink, you missed it. And I was like, that's the most smoothest, coolest thing I've ever seen. But hands down, War Chamber is my favorite event, one of my favorite gimmick cage matches. And congratulations to Mr. Thomas for getting the victory. And I really want a Mr. Thomas push. Like, we got to push this guy. But yes, your thoughts.
Well, Austin Aries was great during. He kept pointing out if people came down with weapons, not, and if they didn't, he called them stupid. Say, why aren't you bringing out weapons? BRG came down. He didn't bring a weapon, but there must have been a plant with some kid anyway, and he got into it with the kid at the side, and he stole his crutch. So Austin Aries got smart. Now he's got a weapon. There was some blood. The Justice bled, which was something. There was certainly sweat. Paul London and his Elvis Evil Knievel outfit that's white. Listen,
man.
Paul, I beg of you, get like black or a dark color that we can't see, because that one has had too many wears. It's starting to get the sweat stains that don't come out. So some bleach or something. But maybe just a new suit. Refresh the wardrobe. That's what they say. Freshen up the wardrobe. But the heels had the numbers advantage almost the entire match, and of course the time of the time advantage with having the numbers advantage. So the heels were sort of on top of things the whole time, and so most of the time they had, every time a new face would come in, they would even it up, but then the heels would get over again. Matthew Justice did the high spots, of course. He did the flying off the top rope and going through a table and all of those things. At some point, I think it was Paul London, or no, it must have been Paul London, I think, was being held by BRG, and Brock Anderson, I always want to say, had a chain around his knuckles and his fist, and he threw a punch, and Paul London ducked, and he hit BRG right in the forehead and knocked him out. And that sort of played into the end, so then the faces sort of cleared things up. Thomas, of course, made a big show of struggling and breaking the zip tie. He did a giant clothesline on BRG, and then he picked up BRG and sort of threw him into a spear from Alex Kane, which was better than any Kane that either spear that either of the Usos have thrown. Yeek. And they delivered BRG right back to Thomas, who basically did like a delayed, holding up top vertical into a jackhammer suplex for the win. And then he did the Stone Cold Steve Austin, finger and middle finger in BRG's face, and he let it linger. So some top face things going on there, and that move by Brock at the end, very reminiscent of his old man. His old man,
yeah.
If he wasn't proud of him before, which I know that he is and has, been, but if he wasn't proud of him before, he would have been like, yeah, he finally got it.
Yeah. So that wraps up the War Chamber part of the MLW review. If you guys want to, leave your comments down below to let us know what was your favorite moment of War Chamber or your thoughts. And obviously, I will be responding to everybody because that's what I do. I respond to every single comment that ever gets left down below, even if they are, from haters. It's okay. So before we wrap up, we do have to talk about those that are not renewing with the company. We're not going to call them like released. They actually said that they're not renewed. To my knowledge, it has only been Alex Kane and BRG.
Delmi XO also.
Really?
Yeah. Whether her contract is up yet or not, it will be shortly if it isn't up already.
Okay, because I'm going by like what the wrestlers put on Twitter now rather than like dirt sheets. But man, well, the Alex Kane not being there, I'm just like, who am I going to get my hugs from? Like, he has some really like good hugs, man. Like I really enjoyed working with him, being around him in MLW. And if I ever needed help, I went to him and I was like, hey, I need you to help me find this person because I have no idea, but they like need to be here at this time. So, nothing but good things about, Alex. BRG, he has that brother, vibe to him. He is a sweetheart, even though he could be a bit of a pain in the butt, as we can see in MLW, and getting knocked out by Brock and wanting Brock to call him. I'm like, Brock doesn't use Twitter, dude. Like, hit him up on Instagram or something. Brock doesn't use Twitter like that. Yeah, like to not like have BRG there or Alex Kane, I'm gonna be a little like sad because I just like their presence to there. And if I didn't really interact much with Dummy XO, but she seems like a very nice lady to just hang out with too and whatnot. But I didn't really interact with her the last time that I was there. But yeah, that's just my take. I don't know if you have anybody else on your list, if you wrote like any other names down.
No, I don't. I mean, I know Janai Kai, but that was like
yeah.
Or so ago. No, I don't know any of these folks the way you know them. I mean, I imagine if I tried to get a hug from Alex Kane, he'd probably give me a belly-to-belly suplex. Though we did He was on Gospel of Thomas last week. We spoke to him last Wednesday. That show was published on Saturday, I think, this weekend. Maybe Monday. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's there on Garden of Thought, Gospel of Thomas, the most recent one with Alex Kane. It was his first interview. Maybe it's only. I don't know if he's given other interviews since he became a free agent. We really got into that. We got into like what his mindset is, and the logistics of it, and what he's going to do, and what he was expecting, what's happening. But we also talked about nonsense. I mean, we don't talk that much about wrestling on the show typically, but we did on this one because it was sort of a window of time. And I don't know that I'm ever going to have that opportunity. I'm not Ariel Helwani. I'm not Sean Ross Sapp. I'm not Figure 4 Online. So I'm probably not going to be another free agent's, first interview lined up just because he's doing it with his bestie, my bestie, Mr. Thomas. Yeah, I mean, he's been a stalwart of MLW for at least 5 years now, and whether a heel or a face, BRG, the Rogue Horseman. I mean, it's a little surprising in that they just set up the schism and it was executed so well. So you'd think there'd be an R&BRG feud with where's CW in this? Where's Bobby Fish in this? I mean, CW, they both delayed in leaving the chamber. CW, he caught up to Arn. Bobby Fish was still in the ring, sort of, with his arms to the side, like, what's up, guys? Come on, what are we going to do here? We're all friends. We're a team. So, and without BRG there, I mean, are they going to talk about it? Are they going to, act like he's not there, that he's so upset that he left and we're never going to see him again? I mean, I don't know. Are they going to try to replace him? Is Carson Drake available? I mean, I don't know what's happening here. That's a little bit odd. Delmi XO, I mean, she's someone I only knew from MLW, and now she's got, so I don't have any real attachment. I liked her. I liked the potential in her. I liked her as the champion. I didn't know that she was going to be a free agent, but I only found out about it after she had already lost the belt and already lost this rematch being televised. I didn't know she lost the rematch. I mean, Thomas is really good about not spoiling things. So, and I don't ask him, and he doesn't. But yeah, I mean, I'll miss her. I'm just like, I mean, we're getting Shotzi in New York, so that's cool. Her indie gear has been off the hook. Oh my God, Uga Shaka, I'm going to be divorced by the end of that. My goodness. Yeah, I mean, I don't know who's going to be the women's division. Thomas had a bunch of Joshi girls, so I mean, it must be more than just what's it? Shoko, yeah. It's gonna be more than just her, I suppose. Which, that's all right. That's fun. I mean, maybe they'll get some of the CMLL ladies as well. I assume they have some. I don't know. It'll be something to see. But Thomas says that their locker room is very peaceful because there's no women.
It is. So. I mean, they're there. It's just that, like, there's obviously a lot more guys. And depending on, like, how big the locker room is, not everyone's going to be, like, mingling with each other. The locker room.
NXT, Orlando.
Yeah. It's not like, we do have a new chatter in our chat named Rapper. Welcome. But yeah, I mean, like, the locker room over in the Melrose Ballroom is pretty small. But then again, I don't venture out to, like, be nosy where other people go. So I just know where to go for, like, meeting people and, like, I guess wrangling talent to be like, hey, you got a meet and greet, we got to go. Or, oh, you need some water? I'll be right back. 2 seconds later, here's some water. Like, I don't really, like, go around being nosy and be like, ooh, what's this over here? It's like, I got to work.
Yeah, I don't think he was making commentary on the women per se because they're women. I
think
it's because there's so few women compared to dudes that it's not like they're not spending time, like, hitting on the women and sort of getting into rivalries and, fussing and fighting over. I mean, it's more comment on that dudes are going to be dudes no matter what. They're sort of, high school sophomores, no matter what, if they're single-ish and there's women who are single-ish there, stuff's going to, there's going to be stuff that's going to happen that may lead to conflict, even if there's nothing underlying there. The guys will still fight over a woman that has no interest in either of them. Because guys are
that happens. That happens. But I can tell you that for the majority of the guys there, they all keep to themselves, or they're, like, with their friends already. But it's never like any kind of, bad or wrongdoing, kind of situations or whatever. But yeah, that is the full entire review. So as far as people that are released and or not renewing with MLW, again, to my knowledge, Janai Kai already said something. If it's true on Delmi XO, I always like to wait for the wrestler to put out a statement or something rather than like the dirt sheets. But like it does kind of feel like her contract might be coming up too. So I got that feeling. BRG already said it, and I already commented on his damn tweet. I was like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, what do you mean you're done? And then, Alex Kane not being there, and I'm, I my hugs. I'll probably get like a hug from Mr. Thomas then.
Alex
But
will be in Brooklyn the week before, so if you want to get a hug, you can just and he's there to work. He's there at a wrestling show, so it's not like you're stalking him. Like you're the hug stalker.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna have Dose Evil basically put himself over and tell you guys all the cool shit that he's doing.
Well, thanks for having me, Marie. It's always fun to be here. We get to talk MLW. I'm not sure that a lot of people do, and so it's nice to be here. A year ago, I don't think I knew you, so this is great. As far as if you want to follow me on the X, it's Dose_Evil. I have a second account, but this one is fine for all the wrestling stuff. As far as podcasts are concerned, so I have a show called Garden of Thought, and there's basically 3 distinct shows under that, but 2 of them are just called Garden of Thought. The one that drops on the weekend usually is something like if you turn on the History Channel like 7 p.m. and left the channel on until 3 or 4 a.m., sort of that kind of variety and landscape. The one that's middle of the week tends to be sort of like more like a 48 hours or a 60-minute news segment, though I'm not generally going to have like a former Secretary of State or someone like that on. But we're talking about a lot of legal issues, business, tech, geopolitics, and I do have some pretty impressive guests, but also it's designed to be fun as well, and also things are happening now. I recently had a cannabis attorney on, and I had an attorney on immigration. We talked about some of that stuff. So that's always fun. But this week I interviewed a fellow whose his business he's trying to create colonies under the sea. I mean, literally, it's called like Sea Atlantis Colony or something like that. So that's all fun. And then, of course, the Gospel of Thomas, formerly the Book of Black, when PJ Black was my co-host, and hopefully he'll come back again. He's laying low for whatever reason. But Thomas and I, we talk to people in wrestling. Not always about wrestling things, sometimes about fun and nonsense. Sometimes with PJ, I tend to get a little bit more esoteric, but we've had people like Aaron Stevens has been on, Tyrus has been on, Tiffany Nueves, EC3, Famous B, Cesar Duran, Dario Cueto, Luis Fernandez Hill. He's been on. So it's been a lot of fun. Kwan, Maire Shadows has been on. And Alex Kane, just to name a few. I've got Victor Benjamin, the Savage Gentleman, next week. So that's that. You can also find me on the Wrestling Soup family. I do the NXT, and we did Worlds Collide review shows on the Drew Yari Experience. Sometimes I'm on the SmackDown review show on Wrestling Soup, and I do something called Body Slam Briefs, which are the Intersexual Soup Network. Those are designed to be like 7 to 25 minutes tops, and there's probably only like 7 of them total. And I'm on the Evolve review show, which is on the Wrestling Soup and Friendos feed. Yes, Friendos. And I do it with White Chocolate, and it's the only podcast I'm aware of, so it's also the best that's dedicated to Evolve. So Javi, if you like Maria and you're willing to take the olive branch and shake hands or put yourself over, you're always welcome on the show. So yeah, I think I've taken enough time putting myself over. Thanks, Marie. Oh no, where'd you go? She fell asleep. I'm that boring. We're wrapping up, so make it quick, please. I don't know if that's to me or someone in the chat, but maybe she's letting someone in the chat. I will vamp. So how's everyone doing today? So what do you want to talk about? Senor de Dos has dinner ready, so, Marie. She's hiding in the shadows. Hey, everyone, I got a turtle. So every day on my Facebook, I post another funny picture of the turtle because people are always making me look at pictures of their stupid cats and their stupid dogs. So now I'm doing it with a turtle, which is turtles display absolutely no emotion, so except for fear and not fear. So or if their arms are flailing about, a little bit annoyed, like no, I don't want to be here. I don't dig that, but it's a funny little creature. And I'm definitely its favorite. That's for sure. All right. So I'm just going to shut up and wait for her to come back because I'm sure she'll edit this all out for the audio podcast version. I don't think I should just leave. Should I just leave? What do you guys say in the chat? Get the hell out of here. Get out of here, Dose. Hit the road, Dose. We're not here to see you. We want Maire Shadows. She's the star. I quite agree. I'm never the star of any show. Even my own shows, especially my own shows. They're all guest-led, by the way, for anybody who's still listening. If anyone can see, these are my notes, just the bottom part. Could anyone read that? No one can read that.
Oh, hey.
Marie, you're back.
Okay, I sent you a voice message on Twitter, my frustration, because my laptop here decided to hard reset. Hard reset. And I'm like, oh my God. Hard reset.
All right, well, I vamped a little bit. I'm sure you'll be editing a lot of that out.
You know what? I'll just keep it because now they know I came back from a fucking hard reset. Oh my God. Anyway, so I mean, if you want to ignore the voice message I sent you, because I didn't know if it was going to kick you out or not. Oh my God. Why? And you know, this is the second podcast that I'm doing today, so I don't know if it's like, you know, oh, you're overworking me kind of deal, but like my laptop. My poor laptop. But thanks for entertaining people. I'll just quickly say that, like, guys, I appreciate you guys for stopping in for the live stream. I appreciate Dose Evil for keeping you guys entertained. I'm Maire Shadows. Subscribe to youtube.com/Square Circle Podcast. Sign up to my newsletter, maireshadows.substack.com. And I am behind the scenes making some new content, making a new show that's going to be a little bit more different than like what you're usually listening to, but still with the same sort of like aspect of like wrestling, but just something a little bit more different. Other than that, this is the most like frustrating way to end a damn show on live stream.
It happens. It's live.
I know. And usually I'm like, fuck it, we'll do it live. We'll go with it. But to have a hard reset, I've never had that in all 6 years of me doing this. So this is the first.
It's the Dose Rub.
It's what?
The Dose Rub.
Oh, the Ghost Rub? Oh my God. Okay.
I take credit for everything, good and bad.
Yeah, I know you do. But yeah, I appreciate Dose Evil being here with me. I appreciate you guys being here with me. We'll see you guys on the next time. I'll probably do a vlog anyway when we go to MLW, and then like I guess a review and a wrap up or whatever for that time.
It'll be great. We'll have that. That will be a special show with insight. Maybe we'll get some. Who knows? How many best friends will I come out of that show with?
A lot.
Yeah, probably.
A lot. A lot. With that, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. Make sure to hit that like button as well. Share it out. We need more people talking about MLW. But until next time, Dose Evil and I will see you guys on the next one.
Stay evil, my friends.